Guys, what's going on? Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel with another video for you guys today. Before we get started with today's video, if you guys could please make sure to drop a like down below. It helps the channel out a lot. It makes a massive difference. Also, if you're new here, by all means, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more Cowboys content from me now and in the future. And also, please make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on new content when it gets released or if I go live or whatever the case may be. So, I wanted to do the schedule prediction for the Cowboys the remainder of the season under Andy Dalton, how I feel the team will do, worst case scenario, best case scenario, how I feel, all that stuff. We'll do that today, and we're going to go ahead and cut right into it. But first, shout out to Cowboys Blog with the nice merch. I purchased this probably a couple weeks ago. It's still on his store. By all means, please go pick it up. He's got some great stuff there, and I love it. It fits perfectly. It's comfortable. Just want to give him that little plug because listen, I got to give a shout out to stuff I like. So, with that being said, let's get into this prediction video. Alrighty, guys. Here we are with the schedule as well as the predictions. What the hell is going to happen with the remainder of the season? Now, I want to do a best case, worst case, and what I feel will happen. Now, first off, I like to check off games that I feel are wins or should be wins, but because of where we're at right now, I can't guarantee that. Usually I'll do that at the beginning of the season because I feel like, okay, these are games that I feel like you should be able to win. But now, with where we're at, none of these games are guaranteed. So, we'll do game by game, and I'll do first the best case scenario. And what does this best case scenario entail? Dallas doesn't skip a beat. Maybe they aren't as explosive on offense, but they're managing to put off key points to win games, and their defense manages to get it together while not becoming like top 5. They're capable of holding teams to 20 to 24 points a game, and they're capable of being a decent defense to get this team some wins. So, what would this look like? So, I think this would entail a Cowboys victory on Monday, putting them at 3-3. And I think that if this were to happen, the Cowboys would, I think, be in a very damn good position to make the playoffs. And why do I say that? Because I feel like if the Cowboys were to win this game, I do believe they'll beat the football team just because of how putrid they've been. And it's just, we don't know what their quarterback play is going to look like in this game. You know, if Alex Smith's starting, he does worry me, and I think he can cause you fits because he's a pretty fine quarterback. But overall, that team has not been playing well. So we'll see who we face in Week 7. And again, this is a division game. It's going to be tough. Like the Giants, this was going to be a tough game. And I think this is going to happen in this same game. But, we'll see. And then I think that you can go into Philadelphia and win there. So then you go into Week 8 at 5-3. And there, you can honestly, that could possibly be the linchpin for this division being, locked for the Cowboys. And how do I say that? Oh, Space, it's 8 weeks into a season. Didn't we say that last year? Well, the thing is that what happened last year was that the Eagles were managing to stay afloat as we were kind of trying to rev ourselves up to try and go on a run. In this situation, Philadelphia, I believe, would be way too far behind to catch up because this is going under the assumption that, let's say Philadelphia manages to lose their game versus Baltimore, which is highly likely based on how Baltimore's been playing, and I think they play the Giants. So if they beat the Giants, that puts them at 2-5-1, assuming that they do lose to the Cowboys. And Dallas would be sitting at 5-3, and Philly would just be the second place team at that point, and that's not good. Now, I do think that Pittsburgh will get Dallas, and again, this comes down to how these teams are playing later in the year. We're talking about a game that's 3 weeks down the line. Anything can happen. Then we had our bye week at 5-4, and then maybe the Cowboys come out of the gate. After their bye week, they go and play against the Vikings. They end up getting a win there. They win against the football team. Maybe they lose to Baltimore because they give them fits. I think they would be able to beat the Bengals, 49ers, the Eagles again, and then they would close out the Giants. Now, you might be saying, Space, there is no way in hell that this team can go on a 9-2 run in the last 11 games. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen. This is the best case scenario. The Dallas Cowboys, they hit on all cylinders, more or less, just not as explosive as they usually would. And they managed to circumnavigate this schedule to win the games that are on there. Because again, outside of a couple games, the rest of these games are pretty much layup games for the Cowboys. In terms of they can win these games easily. But this is the worst case scenario. And we'll take away all these wins and losses. And we'll start from week 6. Cowboys lose to Arizona. They somehow manage to beat the football team. They lose to Philadelphia. They split with the Eagles. They lose to Pittsburgh. They lose to Minnesota. You know, maybe the football team gets some fits. Because again, you know, they've been, you know, who knows. They lose to the Ravens. They beat the Bengals. They lose to the 49ers. They beat the Eagles in week 16, because why the hell not? And maybe they close out the Giants in week 17 with a win. And they finish the season 6-10. This is my worst case scenario for the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys somehow find a way to... this is just like, okay, Andy sucks. Andy sucks. The offense continues to not find its footing. The defense continues to wet the bed. This could be even worse than this. So, that's a possibility as well. Now, you might be asking yourself, Space, now what is your honest-to-God prediction how you feel like the rest of the season will go? Well, as you know, I've pretty much gone on record believing that Dallas can upset Arizona, so I'll say that they will do that. Which would not be shocked if they did lose to Arizona, because Arizona is a solid team. I think that they'll be able to beat the football team and Eagles barely in the first week, or the first matchups, but the second matchups they might struggle. I do think, you know, Pittsburgh will probably beat them, because they've been playing well. I think that Minnesota is going to be one of those toss-up games that swings against the Cowboys. It's on the road. Against, you know, the Vikings have been playing well, but they've been able to put up enough points to really be competitive. I think that Dallas should be able to take care of the football team on Thanksgiving. Then I believe Baltimore will get them. I think Dallas will beat Cincinnati. I think that this depends, because this 49ers-Cowboys game could really decide the season, especially if it gets down to this point. Because if Philadelphia is still playing bad and Dallas manages to win this game and puts themselves at an 8-6 record, they could possibly just, all they got to do is beat Philadelphia in week 16 and they're in the playoffs. Or maybe they've already clinched their spot in the playoffs if the teams continue to play bad in the division. But I do think that where the 49ers are at right now, I just think that Dallas should be able to take care of the 49ers. But again, this comes down to, you know, as the trends continue. I think, honestly, I think you're probably going to split with Philadelphia. But I feel like that at this point, Dallas could probably have already clinched the division because of the Eagles playing terribly and the Giants not playing well. So I'll give the Eagles a split game, and I think Dallas finishes strong at a 9-7 record. Now, I would not be shocked if you wanted to swap. You know, maybe it's the exact opposite of what happened last year. Maybe it's like the Eagles get us early on, but we get them at the end. But I think that this is what's most likely to happen. I think Dallas, you know, limps into the playoffs at a 9-7, 10-6, or 8-8 record. And whoever they face in the first round, which as of this juncture would most likely be the LA Rams, it would be the 5th seed. Maybe and then they lose in that first round game. But I think, what are the expectations more so? The expectations should be at this juncture, get to the playoffs, and at best, like at absolute best, win a playoff game. If Dallas manages to do that, that would be a successful season in my books. I've always gone on record and said that a successful season is you winning the Super Bowl, and everything's a failure if you don't do so. I still hold that true, but when I look at what are your circumstances, I think that the Cowboys getting to the playoffs is one win, but the goal would be get to the playoffs and at best win a playoff game. So, yeah. So this is my predictions for the remainder of the season. How I feel about where the team is, where I think they can go, and yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you think that Dallas will do better than people are expecting, or will they just crash and burn? Tell me how you feel about that in the comment section below. If you guys haven't done so already, please make sure to like, also subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, guys. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.